Hello guys, I hope everyone is doing absolutely amazing. It's very nice to have you on board. So as you can see, I'm out here in nature taking a walk, and essentially this is a little trail that I found because my friend recently had to move into what he calls the middle of nowhere, because growing up in the city life, coming to this is quite a difficult transition, but he's had to move for work. And so I decided to come over and stay for a couple of days. Um, and so I found this trail. I thought, you know what, let's explore it. And then I thought, you know what, let's take you guys along. So, so yeah, I hope you enjoy this spontaneous little walk, spiritual walk. But yeah, so I wanted to mention though that one of you guys at some point has asked, how do I come up with the content? Do I plan it? Do I script it? And maybe in the beginning I did sort of plan it a bit, spend a bit more time with the editing and stuff like that. But to be frank, I've kind of recently, and I think we've hit the end of the trail actually, look. Well, it's a door and it says dogs loose. I'm not sure. I don't want to be around there with loose dogs. But anyway, so I kind of, in the beginning I used to script these videos. I used to really try to think about, how can I make it the most perfect video to watch. And there is something about, wanting to please people about that, So even though there is an element for my own satisfaction, a perfectionist type of element where I want the video to express things perfectly, and along the line I'm learning all these different editing skills, different filmmaking skills to portray the expression more clearly in that video. And I think it's a beautiful process. But at the same time, I also think that what's also beautiful is spontaneity. Being spontaneous is a delight in life, really. The most beautiful things also come out of spontaneity. And so for that reason, I've decided to make this sort of, you may call them vlog style videos. But these are absolutely unplanned. There is no scripts, no thought process, just pure expression. Whatever comes out in the moment comes out. And I feel like in such a setting, whatever comes out to be expressed in the moment is what needs to be expressed, kind of thing. And perhaps also what you may need to hear in the moment. So yeah, so this is why I've sort of transitioned a bit more into the organic style videos. It's really muddy, so if I slip and fall, don't laugh, please. Oh, look at these birds. It's a bit too bright. I'll include a few shots in between so you can see. But in any case, another example is with spontaneity that I had most recently is I actually went traveling and I went to Greece. So the friend of mine who I'm staying with, Zaid, he came along. Well, I went along with him because he had a few days off work, and he was like, you know what, come along with me. He was supposed to go to Turkey, but then he was put on the quarantine, and so he decided last minute, literally, we booked a flight, the next day we flew. So it couldn't be any more spontaneous. So with that, so Zaid is a planner. He likes to really plan things to the T and make sure that he knows what's happening in every moment. As for me, I have that planning element as well, but I kind of want to plan things on the surface, and as you get deeper into the journey wherever you are going, I wanted to make sure that that is unplanned. So what I mean with planning on the surface is, okay, let's plan our entry route, our exit route, and let's plan maybe the first couple of nights in the hotel or Airbnb or something like that, right? And now the reason why I would want to do that is because planning the entry and the exit route, ensures, let's say, safety. You can to some extent figure out, what will happen in the beginning and in the end. But what happens in between, I want to leave that completely to fate, right? I don't want that to be planned. I don't want that to be known. And there's something beautiful in the unknown, because it is only in the unknown that true discovery can take place. And we very often yearn true discovery. Very often when we feel like something is missing, it's because we feel so comfortable. We feel like everything has already been discovered. We have concluded our, let's say, internal journey. And so at this point, something feels like it's missing, ironically. But Greece was beautiful. So we kind of ended up doing a bit of both. We planned some aspects, we didn't plan some aspects. But the times where we were spontaneous is the times where we actually met people. We made friends. And we really sort of connected with different individuals. So what we did is we landed in Athens. We hired a car and we drove from city to city. So the first sort of region we went to was Galatas, Poros, and after that we went to Nafplio, and then after that we went to Kalamata, after that Patras. Actually before Patras I think we went to Olympia, we saw the very first Olympic stadium. I can't lie, I had high hopes for what was going on, but that wasn't great. But do correct me if I'm wrong, I think this was the first Olympic stadium ever, I'm not sure, maybe. Forgive my history knowledge. And then Olympia, Patras, and then after that we decided to go back to Athens, right? And to be frank, when you plan things, you can be more efficient in the way you maneuver. But there is also the element of restriction. Because when we planned to go the first couple of nights in Galatas and Poros, we did a lot of activities. We went to the caves, we went hiking, we went to obviously the island of Poros, and we did many different activities, and it was absolutely beautiful. But at the same time we felt restricted, right? Because we had to be on the go the whole time to squeeze everything in, right? So like this, what you do is you kind of experience a lot of things in a short amount of time, but only a little of these things. Whereas if you keep it to spontaneity, you experience less things, but in depth, right? And it's in the depth where connections can be made. So with that depth, I meant people. We connected with different people, and we created connections. We bonded with these people. These people are our friends now. So if they ever come to the UK, we will host them. If we go to Greece again, they will host us. And this sort of arrangement is also beautiful. So there's really no right or wrong in this situation, right? There's really no right or wrong. And so that's why the best way forward is perhaps to have some planned element and also some spontaneous element. But here's a funny thing as well. What really is planned? What really is planned? I think I will conclude with that question. This is a self-inquiry question. Okay? What is really planned? Right? Look at all of your plans. You know, you want to wake up in the morning, you want to do that, you want to do this. What really is planned? And I'll leave it with that. There's no right or wrong answer in this. But the purpose of this sort of question, or maybe as the Japanese philosophy would call it, koan, is to sort of push the limitations of your intelligence to try and answer something that doesn't have a clear-cut answer really. Because when you try to answer the question, what really is planned, what I come up with will be completely different what you will come up with, and we have this notion where we have to be right. In the paradigm where we see the world as black and white, we either want to make sure that our answer is correct or it will be incorrect. But perhaps that's not the way existence is orchestrated. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for walking along. I'm actually walking back now. There's a nice little river along here. Okay. Yeah, you see it. There's a little bridge as well. I'll include some shots. But hey, thank you so much for coming along, and I will see you next week. Take care.